Well, the swim team is here tonight represented, so I guess we can get started. Nice to see you again.
Thanks, you too.
Okay, ready, please stand. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, I call the meeting to order. Ms. Secretary, can I have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Al?
Here.
Tom?
Here.
Thank you. Joyce?
Here.
Paul?
Here.
Mary Ann? And Mary Ann. Oh, Larry?
Here.
And Terry Catlin here. I'm so used to seeing Mary Ann. I didn't even...
Yeah, she's gonna have to do duty for that.
Okay.
She got, Shantae approved her pass and we didn't know it. Okay, can I have an approval of the agenda, please?
I move to approve the agenda for the April 3rd board meeting.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it,
Aye.
thank you. Now we go to open forum.
Al, the audio is breaking out quite badly.
Okay, Shantae is gonna try to clear it up.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
I was wondering if that might help. I was wondering if we can mute these while we're not talking.
Oh, we should have it off.
At least turn them on. I didn't know if that would help.
Shantae, Crystal offered to, if you want to make her co-host to manage the room.
We're good to go? Tom, any better?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Joe Burry, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, thank you. Will someone tell me when I have 30 seconds left?
Okay, there are our little timekeeper over there.
Okay, thank you. Joe Burry's my name. I'm on Colchester Street. Welcome to members of the community. Hello to the board. I spent 2.5 hours this afternoon with Jamie Lowen, one of the two owners of our golf course in the community this afternoon. Went over a lot of things. He's operating on a $1.5 million budget annually down there. He's keeping that there, and I will tell you, who does it benefit? But it benefits our property values. Even those people like Al, who never sets foot in the golf course, never swings a club, his property values and the increase in the values, at least remaining steady over bad times and good times and bad, is in large part due to our golf course down here. And I think that I've been to other places and other subdivisions where they've let the grass grow up and over, the owners left, and everything went to hell. I hate to say the word, but that's what happens. Everything kind of tumbles. We've got a good thing going here. Jamie's in his 17th year now of running that program down there. He's got it well under hand. He had some issues last year with the greens. There may be some intentional, as I said, but not certain reasons for that other than Mother Nature. So he's dealt with everything pretty well. You want to know why I'm here? I think we owe something to the golf course because they're an amenity, and I think maybe not like how much or the amount, which I think could be negotiable, and but I think we can get it from other places in our budget. So I wouldn't be asking for homeowners to bear any more costs. I think there are three primary areas. There are contracts, which we have all the time, and we got to have our ongoing contracts. We've got a reserve allocation where he says there's a big part. I'm not convinced we need 100% everywhere all the time. There can be a little bit of fluctuation there, which we're not allowing for. And then there's the big one for me, which is legal fees. $200,000 budgeted this year, 7% increase over last year was $186,000 to my calculation last year. Lots of money. So I think really we need to look at the attorney's fees primarily. I'm sure our attorney is worth it. 30 seconds. But I think that on average, I think that what I'm looking at is somewhere around that amount of money that we're paying our attorney, and I'm looking to invert or revert that money, and I'd like to spend some time with the board or some board members privately and show how maybe through the processes that we're using that are redundant, we don't have to go to the attorney every time, and for other reasons, we don't have to call up.
Recording in progress.
We don't have to call an attorney on every single item or thing that we think we're concerned about. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Tanya?
How much time do we have?
3 minutes.
I'm Tanya Ford, and I live in Glen Eagles in the townhomes kind of at the end of Monticello. And I just wanted to bring up a couple things that we've been noticing with the properties not part of Lee's Hill, but on Lee Hill School Drive, the new townhomes that they are building there.
Is that across from the school?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to take up your time, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So, when we first moved in, we used to have beautiful trees that blocked off and we were very secluded. Since they built those, there's barely any trees and there's no fence, and we're getting a lot of cross-traffic, people walking in and out, pedestrians in that area. Is it possible to put some type of fence there that the trees are no longer blocking? It is significant that we're getting a lot of pedestrian traffic through there, people that don't live in our area or neighborhood. So just wanted to bring that up as something that could possibly be looked at.
Are they building down next to those right now? Because I know they did up near Lee's Hill School Road. They were doing a couple of them. Are they down to basically Glen Eagles now?
Oh, yes, yeah. You can see right through to their back windows. They're just right there because all the trees are down now. But yeah, there's just a lot of traffic that we would like to
Are
avoid.
there any trees left at all from what you said?
Minimal,
Okay.
yeah. So that was one issue I wanted to bring up to see if we could propose some type of barrier there. And then additionally, with dogs and people walking their dogs, is it possible to put up any dog stations with the poopy bags and the trash? Because, I pick up after my dog, but a lot of people do not. And we step in it all the time, even right by our homes. So I would like to propose that as something that would be beneficial to the whole community.
Now, one of that's come up before,
Mhm.
okay, and one of the biggest things we had was maintenance of them
Mhm.
and who was gonna do it.
Mhm.
That's the big kicker with that. People have put them up, but we haven't had any, without some expense to get somebody to maintain those, because they gotta be cleaned out, or it could be a mess, literally.
Yes. Is
and
that something that could be added to the landscaping?
I don't know, landscaper's not gonna do that, I know that. That'd be a separate contract if it is with anybody, but then, it's kind of, where the heck are we gonna allocate the cost to do that? You got a large community, because you start doing it at one, we have to go all over the place.
And along the walking trails.
And the walking trails is another area too.
Yes.
So, it's just something we can look at, but I know it's been tough before
Yeah.
to try to accommodate something like that.
But it will be brought up to the budget committee to see if they can find some
I'm sorry?
discretionary monies.
Well, I mean, as I said, it depends on what our budget's gonna be. I would have to make a proposal to get it in, take a
Do I
look
need
at
to do
it.
something to make that happen?
No, ma'am,
Okay.
okay, you've made your point,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
Thank you very
All
much.
right,
May
that's all.
I ask a quick question? Do you think that would actually help, because I'm a dog walker too, and I pick up after my dog, and I've actually seen people have bags,
Mhm.
but leave the bag on the side of the walking trail, so.
Now, I do that. However, when my dog goes right when we leave,
Yeah,
I put it down on the street, on the sidewalk or wherever, and when I come back, I pick it up, just because I don't want to, there's nowhere to dump it, and I don't want to walk 4 miles with a poopy bag.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I haven't really seen a lot of bags sitting down there, other than the ones that I do, but they're picked up when I'm at the end of my walk.
But for the folks that aren't doing it today, I'm just wondering, they could buy bags and do it, and they still don't, so I don't know if that would resolve the issue, that's just my thoughts.
I think it's
As
worth
a
a
fellow
try.
dog walker.
Yeah, I think it's worth a try.
Yeah, 'cause I came here one weekend and I know that somebody has picked up,
Mhm.
but they put it in the sidewalk right here, right, as you came up the sidewalk. You know, it's a tough one, we'll take a look at it, okay?
Okay,
Thank you for bringing it to our
Yeah,
attention.
I appreciate
Now,
that,
is
thank
your
you.
sister gonna get up and do her thing now?
No, it's the other one.
Oh, your other sister, okay, I'm sorry. Come on up, and you're Grace,
Grace,
correct?
yes.
I can handle that one, thank you.
Hi, I'm Grace Griffin, and I live down in Glen Eagles as well. I've been down there now for probably about 23 years. And this is the third time that I'm attempting to bring this issue to your attention. And our backyards face a fence that obviously belongs to this community. And when I first moved here, it was considered common area because our backyard property line obviously doesn't go all the way to that fence. And it used to be maintained by whoever was the grounds crew that takes care of the community. But for quite some time now, that's not been happening. And a large part of a section leading into where my backyard is becoming overgrown with underbrush that's not been taken care of for a long time. And initially, when I brought it to the office's attention with the staff that was there currently, they had the grounds crew spray something on the bushes that turned it brown, and I assumed that the grounds crew would come back and then clean everything out and have it look maintained, but that didn't happen. So year after year, and this goes back beyond COVID, year after year, the underbrush, especially at the summertime, becomes bad. And my concern is, if any of us towards the end, because it's between two buildings, there's an open space, and I've gone to the end of both sections to look behind their backyard to see if that common area was clear, and it was. So I don't understand why that section close to us and in between two buildings haven't been maintained, because it's obviously overgrown. So the problem is, it's encroaching into our backyards at the end, and if any of us wanted to build a fence, it would prevent access to our backyards because of the amount of underbrush that's there. And I was talking to one of the neighbors about it, and she made a good point that I thought needed to be considered. If there was a fire, it would prevent the fire department the kind of access they should have to the back area of our houses for, that reason. So I just wondered, this being the third time over a long period of time that I brought this issue to the attention of the office, not the board, if something can finally be done in clearing out that underbrush so that it's not, unsightly and any kind of a hazard in a preventative way to the rest of us that live in that section between the two buildings.
We'll take a look at it,
Okay.
and get back, maybe third time's the charm.
I hope so.
But thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Okay,
We'll definitely look at it.
okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
To add to what Tanya said, I've also noticed the traffic coming from the new townhouses adjacent to our cul-de-sac.
Where are they going? If they're coming from the townhouses, where are they going?
It's a cul-de-sac down at that end, and they're now adjacent to that section. And the new section that's being built, their backyards are facing that area. But obviously the current residents that are settled in there, because we have a grassy area on that end for the people who lived on the end units, are using that grassy area to walk their dogs coming over into our section.
Okay,
So-
so what's your address? Excuse me, what's your address?
I'm 10,000 Grass Market,
Okay,
and she's 10,004.
But we're sort of on the corner of the T street coming into Grass
I'm
Market.
corner unit.
And not only the dog walkers, but there's just a lot of youth, a lot of
Just
teenage
hanging
traffic
out.
going through
Well,
there.
that's what I'm saying, I don't know where they're going.
We don't know either,
They
they're
just-
cutting
they
through our
come-
neighborhood and hanging out.
Oh,
Their backyards face our
Right.
end of our T, And so you can see them coming with their dogs, with the kids, just coming through and continuing going through, but they're coming from those homes.
Okay,
So they're not, and I had a question, is it our area, our Lee's Hill, is it considered private? Where you could put signs saying private home place? I've never lived in an HOA before, so I don't know if this is considered private and they're not actually allowed to be in this
well,
area,
it's
or?
kind of hard to stop somebody, okay, from walking
Right.
on the property.
But if you could tell them, I mean, at least they would know that the honest ones would know, oh, maybe I shouldn't be here, okay, let me turn around.
Well,
You know
at
what
least you ought to compensate Lee's Hill subdivision if they're gonna use our property. I mean,
Yeah, well,
if you're gonna let them do it.
Define property lines.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like the fencing idea, if we could put up some
Yeah.
fencing, I'm not sure how costly that would be, but I
Well,
think we should
We'll
look
take a
into
look
it.
at it, okay?
One of the reasons we moved into our unit is because it was secluded
At
and
one
there was
time.
no
Exactly,
room.
and,
Yeah.
and we didn't have the traffic we have now, I've been there 8 years,
Yeah.
and it is,
There's
Well,
a shooting.
we don't know them, yeah,
You-
the
you
3 years
didn't
ago
have-
they had the
You
shooting
didn't have
earlier.
anything built there before either, so,
Not at that end, no,
Yeah.
exactly, but they're not Lee's Hill.
right.
I wonder if
Okay,
at some
thank you.
point, I wonder if at some point in the future they might become part of Lee Hill?
No,
You don't think so?
no. Okay, thank you very much, I appreciate it.
We
And
have,
we will take a look at it, both yours and theirs issue, and give us a couple of weeks and then we'll get back to you. If you haven't heard anything, call these young ladies right here, okay? Thank you very much.
thank you.
If there is anybody online who would wish to address the board, we are in the open forum session. Please go ahead and unmute yourself. We're good. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you. Okay, can we have an approval of the meeting minutes from March 6th, please?
I move to approve the meeting minutes from the March 6th board meeting.
Can I have a second?
Tom, I'll second it.
Thanks, Don. Okay, any discussion? Okay, no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All-
Aye.
Thank you. Now we'll go to officer reports. As far as my report this evening, some of you may not know it, but we do have hired a new covenants person, Charles Beckett. He has hit the ground running, literally, I think, going to all these different places. So we welcome Charles to our group. We've got some the pools have been renovated right now. We've got 2 of them, I think, have done some work on it. I know they've done the outside trim and they've done painting on the inside. So that's moving along, and we keep our fingers crossed, of course, that we always make the Memorial Day. The last item I want to bring up is that we've had one homeowner here for, God, it's been a couple of years, that provides food for a food pantry. Now, a lot of people don't know, but this closet, when you come in on the left, we allow people to bring in food if they've got anything excess to go to the food pantry. Rappahannock has their truck that comes out to St. Jude's Church on Lee's Hill School Road. And what we've been doing is all this food that comes in here, I've been hauling it out there for when they have their food truck come in. So they combine them, and there are a lot of people you don't realize that really come up to those food pantries. I was shocked when I saw it. So, you know, if anybody has got anything that they could donate or something sometime, just bring it up to the office and we'll put it in the closet and I'll get it to the food truck. But, you know, some of these people are our neighbors, so, you know, whatever we can do to help out would be great. Yes?
And does it have to be, is it okay, like canned goods, maybe it's, past date a little bit?
No, I don't get into that.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I know when I was working with somebody once before, if it's expired, they could not give it out.
Okay,
So they normally, if they got something, they just chucked it.
gotcha.
But, you know, they got, you know, rice, beans, they've got cheese, I didn't know that didn't have to be refrigerated, all kinds of stuff they bring in. This is I haven't seen this couple, but they bring up these little bags. I don't know if they're elderly like me. They gotta go back and forth and they're hauling these bags up. So I don't know where they get all this stuff. But it's kinda nice to see somebody sharing stuff, you know.
Can we put that in the crier?
Yeah.
We've got the food, we got the food, yeah, we have the food, truck in the crier.
But do people know about the secret closet?
It's not a secret.
It was in the crier,
Yeah.
and I mean, I guess a lot of people knew prior to me getting in here, but then we kind of extended it to the food pantry. I can always go back and add a little regarding
Sure,
and
that'd be
donations as
great.
well.
Yeah.
And I think I asked the question a while back, I think they also take like personal items.
Toiletries, yes, yeah, they do.
What have
Yeah,
you.
they do,
So just drop it off anytime during office hours?
yeah.
Or even if it's a Sunday, people tend
They
to
can
not
put it in
mess
front of
with
the door in
anything
a
here.
bag.
Put it in front of the door.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I come by, I only live next door here, and I see the bags or something, if I can bring them in, if it's an issue, but, you know, everything is welcome, you know, to be put in that place. Okay. Tom, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you. Terry?
No, sir.
Okay, Joyce?
No, I have nothing to report.
Okay, thank you. Paul?
I know Budget and Finance had some questions, Denise, today, or is Denise on the line? She is here. Okay, I can let her speak to that if there's some questions from the Budget and Finance Committee. Other than that, I don't have anything to add. I would say one thing about the dog waste issue is I'd be open to doing it to certain subdivisions. Like, we don't have to do the entire HOA with a dog bag post. We could potentially just do specific subdivisions. That can the more densely populated divisions such as the townhomes. I think it might make more sense for the townhome areas to have doggy bag post stations if that's something we decide to do. But yeah, I like the idea, I like the feedback, thank you. And I also like I like the feedback with the fence line situation. So I hope at some point we can discuss that and perhaps,
It would be well
Yes.
and perhaps we can do something with the fencing.
Thank you.
That would be awesome.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Mary Ann is off unauthorized, but. you know,
Unauthorized leave. Is she able?
Put that in the minutes.
Did she tell you she wasn't?
Okay, Larry.
Excuse me, the sound is breaking up.
That's because we're all talking, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
too many people talking at one time. Okay,
The only thing I would like to do is reiterate what,
Joe.
Joe, I'm sorry,
Sorry.
said about Jamie at the golf course. He and his brother-in-law rescued this golf course 20 years or so ago and brought it back, and I personally, I took advantage of that, and I played golf for a number of years, but they brought a lot to the community, and well, the golf course needs some help right now. They'll bring it back, and it will continue to add to our home values.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Can I just say, tack on something on real quick? And I see that there was the advertisement for the Lee Hill Tavern at the golf club. That can be used by everybody too, and they are willing to even expand their food service, which is already quite expanded, if they get more business. So they're looking at, you know, as we said before, keep the money in the community if we can. If you're going to McDonald's or something, well, go down here and get a breakfast sandwich or something, hamburger for lunch or whatever.
And the prices are actually like very reasonable. You can get a burger for like $5.50.
And it's actually,
No.
Yeah, I didn't know that was down there.
right.
Okay.
I could swing both, I mean, I could walk right on it and I could something.
Yeah.
And he said that there was
Walk my goodness, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Denise?
Hello, everyone. I didn't make last month's board meeting. I'm assuming y'all probably saw the results for 2023. I'll just highlight real quick. Obviously, due to increased trash and legal fees in 23, we did see that our expenses exceeded the revenue that we collected for dues for 23 for general and several of the sub-associations. Good news is we do have our members' equity to cover those losses, so we're still in good shape. The greens, they actually had some money, that was over their revenue exceeded their expenses. That was done on purpose. We're trying to save some money for them each year. So next year, when they have the big painting project in their subdivision, we won't have to increase their dues as much. So it was good to see that they had some funds they could add to their savings for next year's budget. So overall, of course, that's the unaudited numbers that were presented. So until we have the audit, there may be some changes, but I think overall, based on all our challenges, we're still doing pretty good. Two things that did come up in our meeting last month that was new to us was that I noticed they opened up a sweep account in conjunction with our operating bank account. I didn't know, I'm assuming the board's aware of that. We just want to make sure that we get that bank statement and the reconciling documents each month in our packet. I did see it in this last month. And the other question we had was, I noticed the last few months, we started getting charged by the management company an $8 fee per utility bill for processing. I believe they're using a third party to do that. I didn't know if that was agreed upon or it was in the contract. I guess we were thinking that would be more of a business expense incurred on Cardinal's behalf of how they handle their payables. But that was just a question that we had.
But if they're using a third party, why the heck aren't we doing it? That doesn't make
Can you
sense.
hear me, Denise?
I cannot hear you, I'm sorry.
I can only hear Denise at this point.
Can you hear me now?
too.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now, Denise?
I can't hear you.
That's weird.
Try line. Just-
Can you hear Tom and I, Denise?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear the people on Zoom, but I cannot hear the office staff.
How about now?
Do it again.
How about now?
Yeah, but it's low. I don't know if you move the mic closer.
Wow. I will move it as close as I can. So when Lee's Hill started being charged for those utility bills, and we did switch to a third-party vendor as a means to not have to hire additional personnel to process utility bills, those fees were added to Lee's Hill's extra charges, and I requested that they be removed. The wheels of progress move slowly, but I have confirmed as of backed out, and you should not see them moving forward.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
You did have something where you're talking about a sweep account, Denise.
Yes.
What's a sweep
Nothing has
account?
been voted
sure.
on by the board. And just learning from you about this, I knew nothing about it either.
What is a sweep account?
It's for the extra cash, so you have extra cash in the
So
bank
like petty
account.
fund?
Yeah, it basically what's in it,
Like a
it's
money
like a
market.
state, exactly,
Oh,
like a
okay.
money market
Okay,
fund, so
yeah.
you're earning some interest versus no interest. And I think what happened was in the past, the interest rates were so low that it wasn't worth having a sweep account, but now interest rates are much higher, so it makes sense to go ahead and have a sweep
Okay,
account.
thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
So it's money, it's our account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
when money sometimes is initially moved over into reserves, it might be moved into a money market before it's invested in CDs. And in this instance, it's put into the sweep account. And then it might then be moved into
Who makes that decision
a CD. Who makes what
to
decision?
move it into a sweep account?
Or a
to do
CD.
anything?
That's part of your regular monthly contribution,
Okay,
your scheduled
but as
contribution.
far as what kind of money market, et cetera, who makes that decision?
I think it's,
That's the bank's money market.
Yeah, I
It's an
think it's the
interest-bearing
Just
account.
whatever bank you're using.
Now, we're asking, where did this sweep account, like Denise is describing, come from? We didn't have it before.
Yeah, who originated this? I guess.
And who's managing it?
Nobody
Right.
knew about it.
So I have no idea.
I think the management, now, I'm not the expert here, but my idea on this is that the management company has some discretion in terms of how they manage our money that is housed within their bank accounts. And this money is within a CMG controlled bank account. So they're basically splitting up some of the money and putting it into a higher earning interest bank account. And they made that decision within the management company.
Denise, are you listening?
Yeah, the question I guess that I might have is, twofold. One, I understand the purpose of a sweep account to try to utilize, get interest, understand that, no big deal. Just want the paperwork so we can trace, the movement of the funds to make sure nothing gets lost. And the second question I would have is this an automatic sweep account to the operating that it moves funds over to cover those expenses being presented that day, or is Cargo moving those funds manually? And if so, are we getting charged extra for that?
Can you hear me?
Barely.
So the money is not being moved to pay expenses. The sweep account would move money into the reserves, but I will get a final answer on that and make sure that you get statements related to that sweep account.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's all I had.
Okay, thank you, Denise. Keith Nichols, is he available? I don't think so. No, he's not. Okay, sorry. The covenants information should be in the covenants information in our packet. Sarah Dixon? Sarah had something.
Yep, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, so we had a successful Easter egg hunt on March 17th. We ended up having about 150 kids sign up, so it was a great turnout. And next up is Summer Splash that we have just scheduled for May 31st. And the swim team is taking big lead with organizing that, so we'll work on getting some ads up for the Summer Splash on the 31st.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right, I did see something on the Summer Splash, I guess, in the emails where there's a physician, I guess, who contributes to the Summer Splash, and she was looking to put up some sort of table. If I'm wrong, let me know. To just kind of have some goodies on the table, etc. There was a question on that as far as would it be okay, and has it been done in the past?
Sorry, I just lost your. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
You broke off. I couldn't hear your.
Okay. Who's a doctor? What's her name? Dr. Amy or something?
Dr. Almy, the orthodontist.
Yeah, the swim team was wondering, I guess there's a local orthodontist who's one of the team sponsors, and she usually has a table at their events and hands out goodie bags, so they wanted to know if they could get approval for her to have a table at the splash.
Does she give out, like toothbrush and toothpaste or something?
She has like sunglasses and water bottles and things like that.
It's just that's all it is.
I'm sorry?
That's all it is. It's just she gives out this stuff to who's attending it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's one of our biggest sponsors every
And she
year.
did it last year?
She's done it, I don't know that she's done it at Summer Splash, but she's given things when we have like our registration sign up day, and we're not doing that anymore because registration's all online now. So we don't really need a day where they come in and register in person. But she's sent things and sent employees that day to be there for that registration day.
Okay. Well, I don't have a problem with it. Does anybody else have a problem with that? Okay, sounds like a go, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. And then just again, thanks to the swim team for helping out at the Easter egg hunts. Summer Splash is next, and then we'll be in touch this summer about movie nights.
Okay, thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Do
Yeah.
we have the new people for the welcoming committee? Mary Ann's not here, so we don't have that. And property enhancement, Keith's not here.
This is Tom. I move to appoint the following homeowners to serve on the Welcome Committee.
Okay,
Amy Dutto, Rosemary Coleman, and Irene Thorold.
Okay, hang on just a minute. You jumped the gun on me a little bit, but that's all right.
That's what I do.
You're doing well, Tom. Okay.
Trigger happy.
I guess we'll go to the first motion, okay? So Tom has already made the motion, and we have a second.
I second.
Okay, Terry seconds. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. So Amy, Rosemary, and Irene are now members of the welcoming committee. Okay, the next motion, somebody want to read it, please?
I move
This
to.
is Tom. I move to deny the appeals hearing to start at 6:30 and the board meeting to start at 7:30.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second.
Terry seconds it. Any discussion? Go ahead, you wanna say something?
Yeah, I thought we were kind of on board with starting the appeals meeting at 6:30. I thought that would.
I don't think that was resolved or any
Yeah.
affirmative action.
I guess what is like what is the thought process? Why don't you want the appeals meeting to start at 6:30 to help people?
It wasn't resolved, and the main reason is because the people, in my opinion, the people to whom the appeals meeting are most important are those people who have matters before the board. And the majority of those people are less likely to be able to attend a 6:30 meeting than a later meeting. There are a lot of commuters in our community, as I'm sure you know. I think you're one yourself.
Okay. All right.
Okay, all in favor of remaining the way we are at 6:30 for the board and
The motion was to deny the appeals meeting, to start at 6:30 and the
correct,
other at 7:30.
correct. That's what I'm going to put for the approval of, the denial.
Right.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? Okay, we'll remain with the same time frame that we have right now. Okay, we have another motion here. Anybody want to take the third one?
So which one?
This is the one on publishing email addresses in the community.
I move to approve having board members optionally publish their email addresses in the community crier and other HOA publications.
Okay, we have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Terry seconds. We have a discussion.
I personally would not like my email address published. To me, that's personal information. I use my personal account for
Yeah.
board information.
Hear you.
My phone number is already published, which is my personal cell phone number. I'm okay with that, and I have gotten calls from community members on things. So, we're all very busy. I work full-time as well as do this job as well, and do not always have time to address any emails, and furthermore, I think any discussion for board members should be either during board meetings, either in person or over Zoom.
Okay.
Okay,
I totally agree with that point. I think it would be extraordinary to have some people having more information out there than others. So yeah, I mean, if somebody chooses to publish their email address and someone else chooses not to, I agree, Terry. Uniformity is what we need to strive for.
What's your reasoning though, Tom? What's your reasoning? I mean, you're just saying that's a conclusion. I don't want one published. Why, if that's the case, why can't others who would like?
it's time for board discussion. Okay.
I've also
Is that Joe?
Yes.
I've also got a
Okay, hang on here. Larry, go ahead.
I also disagree with doing it because it encourages board members to have too much one-on-one conversations with homeowners, which is something that our legal attorneys definitely discourage and tell us not to do, because when I give you my opinion in a one-on-one situation, I'm speaking for the board. And
I disagree.
Joe, Joe.
that is my understanding of the legal opinions we've gotten in the past.
Can I?
That's my understanding also. And I think, yes, there's a
We
real
asked
risk
legal, so we
of
asked
having
legal.
an individual board member
Hang on,
speak
Tom, just a minute.
for the board as a whole,
Okay,
without the board having acted upon anything thus far.
okay, hang on, Tom. Go ahead, Paul.
I would ask, why do we give out our phone numbers currently? It's so that the community members can lobby us, and some of us can take phone calls and some of us can't. And I'm not in a position during the workday where I can take a phone call or I can respond to a phone call. A phone call is incredibly interfering with my personal business. But what I can do is I can take an email, because I can think about the email and I can respond to it when I have time. So we have open communication via, via telephone numbers and people calling us, but we don't have open communication via email. Now, of course, when somebody does give me, calls me, I can respond with a text message potentially, and I can pass off my email address so that they can go ahead and get in touch with me via email. But I would like to make that whole process just easier for the community members. I also think that this idea that legal has told us that we can't speak to community members is hogwash. It is the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life. And if we're going to accept
That is not,
if we're going to
that is not what the legal
Excuse me.
told us.
Hang on, Tom.
What legal said to us
Excuse
is
me.
that if you
Hang on.
Excuse me.
or any other board member addresses a concern brought forward by
Tom,
a
hold
member
on.
of the community and you issue an opinion upon it, it can be assumed that
Tom,
that is
hold
the
on.
opinion of the board as a whole, which it may or may not be. And to your concern about the immediacy of response, if people can't get to you directly by phone,
This is totally improper.
there's such a thing as voicemail, and if they're not satisfied leaving you a voicemail, they can reach out to yet another board member.
Okay, hang on, Tom. Go ahead.
So in 2024, people like to communicate via email, especially people in my generation, and people who are a little bit older than me and also younger than me. Most people just don't have time for voice communication, and email communication is totally appropriate and totally apparent. And there's a number of issues that are coming up that community members want to voice their opinions to me and to other board members, and it's totally their prerogative because we are voted by the community. We are elected officials. And if we're getting bad legal advice that's telling us that we can't talk to our community members, then we get new legal counsel, okay? It's not my fault that this board has been taking bad legal advice for the past 15 years.
Hey, that's enough, okay?
I'm gonna
Stick
speak.
to the issue here and without demeaning anybody else.
Okay, noted. So it makes sense, I think, to most people in the community that they can contact us easily. And to have that easy contact, I think it makes sense for email addresses to be published. And I would be okay with optional. So if somebody was okay with their phone number being published, publish your phone number. If you're okay with your email address being published, publish your email address. If you don't want either of those means of communications published, then don't publish anything. It should be up to the individual board member. I don't like my phone number being published. I like my email address being published. I have a separate email address for Lee Hill HOA Business. And you all can get separate email addresses for Lee Hill HOA Business. It's very easy. You just go on Gmail and you start a new email account. That's not hard. That's not difficult to do. In terms of why board members need to contact, or why community members need to contact the board, it's because we make important decisions. For example, we're going to have a trash contract that we're going to have to negotiate in February of 2025. And the industry is going towards once a week, so we might be pressured to go once a week versus twice a week with our trash. And there's a lot of people out there that have strong opinions on whether it should be once a week or twice a week. I would like to hear that feedback. But the problem is a lot of those people with the feedback, they're not going to give me a phone call because they don't have time for phone calls. They're busy, they have kids, they have things. But they will send me an email real quickly. And the fact that we can't make it easy for our people, the people that we represent, to email us is ridiculous. When a board member here, I'm a board member who wants to serve my community, and I can't publish my email address in official publications, that just seems crazy. Now, people do reach out to me because I'm on Facebook, but why are they forced to use Facebook?
I recognize you as a spokesman for your generation.
Hang on, Tom.
Can I finish without being interrupted?
Tom, hold on, please. Let him finish, please.
I'm the one who brought forth this motion, so according to Robert's Rules of Orders, I should have been the first to speak, and I have up to 10 minutes to speak on this topic without being interrupted. I think I've made my points clear. At this point,
Okay,
we can hold on, I'm not complete. We can represent the community, we can open up communication with the community, or we can avoid the homeowners, and we can avoid the community. A lot of people just aren't going to make phone calls, and that's the truth. And if I have a separate email address and I want people to contact me, I should have that option as a board member to publish any email address in official publications, to include the Facebook page, the website, and also the community prayer. And there's nothing wrong with that. And this idea that the legal attorneys are telling us that we cannot speak to community members about things that we're going to have to vote on, that is ridiculous. We vote on issues that affect homeowners.
Homeowners need to be able to lobby us, just like delegates in the House of Delegates. Bobby Orrick is lobbied by his constituents. Lori Hayes in the Board of Supervisors, she's lobbied by her constituents. If you told Lori Hayes, if you told Delegate Orrick that you couldn't email him, because he would be speaking for the entire House of Delegates, he would say that you're nuts. That would be his response, you're nuts. He's allowed to talk to his constituents, and likewise, we're elected members of this community. We should have access to our people. We should have, the people, the community members that we represent on this board should feel comfortable talking to us. And in 2024, that doesn't mean just a telephone number. That also means an email address, and that's the truth. Okay.
So, one thing, I hear what you're saying, and I'm kind of offended by your comments.
Okay.
Because I am not avoiding talking to homeowners. In fact, I do a lot of talking to my own homeowners in my community, so I'm kind of offended to that you're saying that because I don't want to publish my email address.
Not saying you personally.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
You got to talk, let me finish. That kind of offends me, Paul, that we're avoiding people. So these good folks here came today to voice their concerns. We have a board meeting once a month. This is in 2 years, this is the biggest group of people I've seen attend a board meeting, right? And so we make this forum available for people to come forth. Maybe we need to give people more than 3 minutes to speak, understood, right? And we're also having an open house on April 13th. I'll be very curious to see how many homeowners actually show up to attend that to hear Lori Hayes. Because there's, people are busy, Paul, and so that's all I'm gonna say.
Tom, you got next, go ahead. You still there?
Yeah, he's here. He just gotta unmute.
Tom, you still there?
You gotta unmute yourself. There you go.
Go ahead, Tom.
I'm worn out. I mean, I understand Paul's point. I think later we're going to address the matter of having an open forum available on the community Facebook page, which I think is a great idea and one that I would totally support. But, Paul's speaking as a spokesman for his generation, where email is the going thing. Honestly, put your cell phone number out there if you want to be really current and get texts. That's what people do now. Now, I'm worn out by this discussion. I don't see how it's helpful in any way.
Okay, let me wrap it up. Number one, I did have a text on Saturday morning about an issue in the community, and I did text back to the individual that I would be looking into it, did research it, and did communicate back by text, okay, and resolving the situation. So, I don't have my email address on there, and I don't propose to put it on. But go ahead, if you want to say one more thing.
Yeah, I wanted to apologize to Terry. I didn't mean to say anything offensive. I do understand that you are open. I just think being open to the community means different things to different board members. And I think it's reasonable in 2024 to, if you wanted to open an email or have an email address available so people can contact you, I feel like that's a pretty common way for people to contact people that they need to contact.
Okay,
and then second,
that's enough on your side. Okay, go ahead.
Am I allowed to respond?
No,
I was going to respond.
go ahead.
One thing I wanted to add, I don't think there's anything at all wrong with listening to the community. I think we all do that one way or another. I meet people at the mailbox, I listen to what they have to say. The problem is when I start telling them this is the way we should be doing things, this type of thing, that is what, in my opinion, the attorneys are discouraging because, again, when I speak, I'm speaking for the board.
Go ahead, finish it up, please.
I would
Hang
just
on, George.
respond to that. I agree that we cannot speak for the board, but having conversations with homeowners about different things that are happening on the board and board business is completely legitimate. And homeowners can express opinions to board members through communication as to how we should vote on various things, to include trash contracts. So board members need to know how to communicate. Board members need to know how to communicate But that's not this issue. This issue is just, hey, can we communicate via email? Can we publish our email
Okay, we
addresses?
know what the issue is.
That's the issue.
Okay. Wrap it up, Tom,
The,
please.
the next matter on the agenda addresses your very point, Paul, regarding feedback to and fro from the community on the official Facebook page. We could, although it would be later news, we could also include such a forum in the crier. So, I mean, that's an issue I don't think anybody on this board has objection to. So your contention that we're trying to obfuscate in some way is bogus.
Okay, I'll
all right,
stipulate your
Somebody wanna
point.
call-
All right,
call the
okay.
vote.
Okay, there's enough discussion. Let's go to the actual motion at this present time. Can I have another motion, please?
Well, the motion on the table right now is I move to
To
approve,
approve it, okay.
optional
Okay.
publication of.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that one's done. With this, we can resurrect that other thing some other time. Okay, now we got another motion on the official Facebook page. How does that Facebook page?
Your audio is
Okay.
yeah, your audio is dropped out, but
Okay,
this is Tom, as you probably are sadly aware. I move to approve the official Facebook page for the association to be modified to allow members to post comments effective, I wouldn't say May 1st, because I think we need to draft guidelines first.
Correct.
I would say maybe July 1st. That's my ill-stated motion.
okay. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay,
Joyce.
all right, discussion.
Yes, what would that entail vis-a-vis web development? We don't have that capability now, and who would undertake the incorporation of that ability on our website?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Tom?
Yes, ma'am.
So nothing is required beyond notification on the page explaining that this is not a monitored page, that while it is the association's page, there's no daily oversight. The most important thing is a social media policy that the board should enact before this is undertaken, because while we respect the need for homeowners to communicate with each other and the requirement within the Virginia Property Owners Association Act, we all understand that this opens the association up to specific liabilities as relates to the types of things that people may post. So there will be guidelines listed on the website, but I would request that legal actually draft that verbiage.
I totally.
Go ahead.
Tom, to also add to that, section 4 of the admin resolution about our Facebook page, that's the sensitive area where it's saying it has to be monitored. Association members may be objectively reported, content, only facts, not rumors, content bias by personal opinion shall not be posted. So section 4 alone in the resolution is very sensitive and has to be, I agree with what Cynthia's saying, that legal needs to look at this.
What's the
I
resolution? What's the resolution?
I think what we're looking at here, though, is the broader picture is, do we want this forum to be put into place on the community Facebook page? And why would we not? Because there's an anti-Lee's Hill Facebook page that certain members of the community can contribute to and garner incorrect information at will. So I think it's important that we incorporate community feedback on our Facebook page within proper guidelines and under the auspices of someone who knows what the heck they're doing.
Right.
Joyce,
I agree.
Joyce, what's that resolution?
The resolution number
Yeah,
is 18-20.
okay, thank you. Okay, then we got a motion on the floor right now. All in favor?
I'd actually like to withdraw the motion. I would like to withdraw the motion because I don't know what an effective date might be. I think a goal certainly would be July 1st, but we may not be able to meet that.
Okay, what
How
about,
about just pending legal review?
I'm sorry?
How about amending it to state pending legal review?
Or postpone the
Yes,
motion.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, that works. Sorry.
Legal.
Maybe just postpone it now?
Pretty well, I agree.
okay, we just do pending, so it's not, it's a motion right now, but we don't do anything until we get a review of it, period.
Okay, fine.
All right? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next. Okay, somebody want to take the next motion, please? Others on candidates.
Tom again, I move to approve the addition of G, H, and I to section 1 of Administrative Resolution Procedures relative to the election of the Board of Directors with the exception of modifying the Q&A period to not more than 60 minutes should it be necessary.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Larry seconds it. Okay, so instead of 30 minutes, 60 minutes is what you're putting in?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Not more than.
We have, you second it, we go with that then?
Yes.
Okay,
You
any
think-
discussion?
Do you think 60 minutes is sufficient?
Well, this is for all of them.
Well, it depends on who's in attendance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yes.
You know, right now, if you go back and you look at history, candidates night is not a very well-attended function. We've had some where we've had one homeowner, we've had some, we've had no homeowners. So when you look at,
Yes, I think 60 minutes is adequate.
it's probably adequate. But,
Ask the
you know,
question.
and I think, these things here, where whoever's the chairman for that particular election that night, he has the prerogative to make some decisions on the conduct of it, but this gives him some guidance in some areas. All opposed? Thank you.
I'm sorry, was there one opposed vote? I didn't.
That was, no,
Karen, did you?
okay, and we got the next motion has to do with the pool. Are we tabling this thing? Okay, this particular one, we're gonna table, to get another contractor involved. So we'll table this particular action.
Okay.
I did have a question. What is the name of our pool contractor for this year?
Coastline Aquatics.
I'm sorry?
Coastline Aquatics.
Coastline Aquatic. Okay? Okay.
So the issue with can we discuss this real quick? The issue with this is that we only have one proposal.
Yeah.
And we have two.
We wanna
It
get
doesn't
another.
matter, does it matter? 'Cause it's not that much money.
Well, you're talking a little over $10,000 here, okay, with the thing. And it's,
Should there be discussion as to whether if waiting on these proposals has the possibility of delaying the pool opening? I think we should set a drop dead date so we know that this can actually get done. Because getting a proposal.
Well, that's the reason I asked what our pool company's name was, because on this proposal, I had never heard of them.
okay, what it is the follow-on to swim club management.
Okay.
It's the people who ran swim club management.
So this is who the proposal is from?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Tanner's new outfit.
And
And
this,
that could be something different. Not knowing who the pool company was, not on the board last year, I wasn't familiar with them.
Okay.
sidewalk.
So it sounds like this work might be time sensitive and it could affect the opening of the pool, so do we want
Well, that-
maybe just go ahead and approve this?
Well,
Because we don't want to,
we want to approve it subject to confirmation of delivery time or completion time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Because it looks like they're gonna actually,
Because it depends on what they find.
repair, right?
Yeah, but if they can dig in,
Yes.
so.
yeah, I'm concerned if we wait another month and we're at May and the pool's supposed to open Memorial Day weekend, and that's really not giving us that much time.
No.
And so if we get another proposal, it only saves us like a couple $100 off of 10,000. I'm kind of like wondering, is it worth it, or should we just go ahead and do it?
I think we should go ahead and move it, because it looks like they're gonna actually do some full inspections
Yeah.
and make sure there's no leaks or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I think we
Okay,
should
well,
just.
somebody make the motion on this one here then, we haven't done that.
I move to approve the proposal from Coastline Aquatics in the amount of $10,850 for the installation of an automatic chemical controller to acid wash the plaster and to repair the expansion joint to include replacement of tile line.
And a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, so we've had the discussion already, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it, thank you
Oh.
very
I have
Whoops,
one
wait
request.
wait a minute.
We've had acid washing done in the past, and hopefully the acid washing is not like the last time we did it. Another company. It was out in the parking lot, it was on the grass, killed the grass, damaged the coating in the parking lot, so that's just something to watch for.
And make sure that it can be done before the pool opens as well, right? Okay.
Well, I think your motion, Terry, should state that. if you
Okay.
wouldn't mind.
Let me have my nickel back and I'll restate. Is that okay with
Go ahead.
everybody? I move to.
I'll give you a quarter.
Okay, I move to approve the proposal from Coastline Aquatics in the amount of $10,850 for the installation of the automatic chemical controller to acid wash the plaster and to repair the expansion joint to include the replacement of the tile line to be completed 1 week before the opening of the pool. So what would that be?
I say give them 2 weeks.
Right, okay. To be completed by May 20th.
Okay. Okay, good, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, anybody want to make a motion to adjourn? Can I make a community announcement before you adjourn? Might be a good place to be on your calendar if I could.
Wait, hold on. We have Exhibit F, which is the calendar. Should we just go through that real quick? Or is that all good?
Well, I looked at it, I didn't see any big hiccups in it. I don't know if anybody else has done it.
No, I don't have any issues.
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you pick up an issue with the calendar, bring it up afterwards to them, as far as, what you want to put in the calendar?
No, I don't want to put it in. I just want to say about something that happened last week that concerns the community, that's all.
Well, we're a little late in the game right now. Okay, can you hold that until next time? Is it that critical?
Yeah, it's about the budget hearing, that it affects the homeowners and the amount of taxes they're paying. I just want to say that I went there, I spoke up, because it's my contention, and we can tell Lori Hayes this, she was there, that renters ought to be paying a fair share, and not put the burden, almost the entire burden on homeowners in this county, and that was the crux of what I said. And I think that, we're paying higher HOA dues, higher county taxes, we just gotta put the brakes on as much as we can.
Well, as far as us personally, our renters are basically homeowners, because they rent out all these places. So the renters here are paying the homeowner, who in turn pays us. We're not getting anything.
Not the commercial buildings.
We're not getting
Not the
anything for
commercial
renters.
buildings.
I'm sorry?
And the commercial building, they're paying for the right to do business, doing business in the county.
Now, you're talking county, I'm looking at Lee's Hill, I'm talking about
Yeah,
Lee's Hill.
we're talking about Lee Hill.
You're going beyond Lee's Hill now.
If there are renters renting,
Right.
even in this community,
Yeah.
they owe us something for the services that they receive back from the county, and they're not paying. The owner is paying, but they're not paying, and that was my contention to the Board of Supervisors. I wish I could be here to
Can we
talk to
adjourn,
Lori.
let's adjourn and then we can continue this
The owner
conversation?
is okay.
Okay, all right. Motion to adjourn.
Second?
So moved.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
But Joe, the renters
You're all
are paying.
Pay the landlord, the landlord just paid the property tax.
Like Al said, the renters are paying